هاي بسم الله. الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا welcome everyone to our 14th lecture. We're almost nearing the end of this course, our 14th lecture. And today it's obviously a Tuesday lecture, which means that it's mainly going to be about practice, implementing what we have explained on Saturday. So Saturday we spent a lot of time explaining things. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we are going to put all of that to practice in the lecture and even more so, inshallah, in the workshop after the lecture. Right. Does anyone have any outstanding questions they want to pose? And let me send the WooClap link actually. Okay, so you'll find the WooClap link in the chat. If I can find the chat, 1 second. There you go. So please join WooClap. So this week we were talking about as-sihha, which stands for health. Okay, and what we're going to do, inshallah, is we are going to have an attempt at those exercises which are going to be posted, or those exercises that are going to be done in the workshop. So we're going to do that right now as a class, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so we have the make your own sentence. Okay, so I have, like always, I've tried to categorize the vocabulary according to their meaning, if you like. So we ended up with, these are the verbs. Okay, all of them are in present tense. Make them past tense if you want. يقيس, يقابل, يتناول, and the likes. Then we have some diseases that were mentioned in this unit, such as zukam, صداع, ضغط, which stands for pressure, and alam, which is pain, basically something that comes with all disease. Then these are the body parts that were mentioned. كلية, صدر, أسنان, حنجرة, أذن, أنف, and قلب. These are adjectives. Okay, some of them are from the book, and there's one or two that I've added. Such as مرتفع, which basically comes from يرتفع. So يرتفع means to rise, مرتفع means is elevated. So you can say, for example, ارتفع ضغط الدم, so the blood pressure has risen. Or you can say ضغط الدم مرتفع, which is basically the exact same meaning, other than the fact that this would be a jumla فعلية, would be a verbal sentence that starts with a verb, and this one would be jumla ismiya, that starts with a noun. And this is something actually quite important, which is being able to turn jumla fi'liya into ismiya, or vice versa, jumla ismiya to jumla fi'liya. This is quite important. Inshallah, we'll cover that. And this is something that, generally speaking, non-native speakers, they struggle with a lot. Non-native speakers, they primarily speak with verbs, whereas native speakers primarily speak with nouns. So a native speaker would say something like ضغط الدم مرتفع, whereas a non-native would say something like ارتفع ضغط الدم. This is just what I've noticed from over a decade of teaching Arabic. And that's because of the focus given on verb and verb conjugation by most people that teach Arabic. Now, there is benefit to using the noun or the jumla ismiya, or starting with a noun, or using a noun instead of the verb. There's benefit to that. Okay, one of them is that when you speak with a noun, the sentence now, it's not something that necessarily happened or happens once upon a time. Is basically something that now that is fixed. That's how it is. Okay. So for example, the difference between, let's say, محمد تأخر عن الدرس. محمد تأخر عن الدرس. Muhammad was late for class. As opposed to محمد متأخر عن الدرس. Muhammad is one who is late for class. Now, both of them give you the meaning that Muhammad came late for class. However, the first one, it sounds like something that happened, which is out of the ordinary. تأخر محمد عن الدرس sounds like something, he came late for class, but he's not always late. That's why you use the fi'l, because the fi'l gives the meaning of something happening. Okay? The verb gives the meaning of something happening. Whereas if you say محمد متأخر عن الدرس, then now you made Muhammad being late almost as an adjective. Okay? So now it doesn't have that same connotation that it just happened out of the blue. La. Now it's basically Muhammad, he's late for class. So it's something that, everyone is probably used to. Okay? So that would be an example. That would be an example. So that's why I've added مرتفع from يرتفع. I've also added مريض, which is the opposite of salim. And I also added خفيف, which is the opposite of shadid. So these you might not have found in the dialogue, but they are very much related to what we've done so far. Then these are concrete nouns, these are abstract nouns. Difference being, concrete nouns are things that are concrete that you can touch or feel, basically physical things. Whereas abstract nouns are ideas or feelings or things that are not physical, like راحة, rest, موعد, appointment, زيادة الوزن, obesity or increase in weight, نتيجة, result. These things are not tangible things, okay? And I like to keep them separate because it's a good thing for trying to come up with a sentence, okay? So concrete nouns, you can, for example, see it. So you can use verbs that have seeing, verbs that have finding, verbs that have to maybe even hear it, to have it, to touch it. All these things that only happen to physical things, you can use concrete nouns for. But as abstract nouns, then there's a lot of verbs that wouldn't apply to abstract nouns, okay? So we have this list of vocabulary that has been categorized so that you can make us some sentences. So inshallah, you're going to go into WooClap and you're going to make us a sentence. And then what we do is we learn from your mistakes. So again, like we say, we benefit from the learning opportunity. So inshallah, go to WooClap and make your own sentence. If you want to unmute yourself and speak a sentence, then feel free. You can do that as well. I suppose you want to see the list, right? There's the list. No, but a better one. 1 second. There's the list. Maybe we should open split view. You want the link for WooClap, yes. There you go. No, I did send it, but maybe you joined late. But I've sent it again nevertheless. So I hope you can see the words. Let me actually make this one a bit smaller, that one a bit bigger. Take your time. You can write a sentence, you can write a paragraph. Take your time, inshallah. When it's done, I'll break it down. Let's give it like 3 minutes. Even before I start commenting some of your submissions, let me give it some time so that I don't interrupt those of you that are working hard to make a sentence, inshallah. So let's give it 2 or 3 minutes, inshallah. Take your time. Okay, we have some of the answers coming in. Allah, I'll give another minute, inshallah, before we have a go at correcting it. Please, number 1, try to make your sentences as long and sophisticated as possible. That's number 1. Number 2, please try to use these words in front of you that have to do with sihha. Okay? Don't just come up with any sentence related to previous units, which is fine. قضيت شهرا في مكة والمدينة. It's fine. It's perfect. It's good Arabic. But we want to stick to our weekly theme. Okay, so that we get to practice with the new vocabulary that we've learned, and we also get to address some of the most recent relevant grammar concepts. So try and stick to the vocabulary of this week and the grammar concepts of this week, inshallah. Barakallah fikum. If any of you manages to use either ممنوع من الصرف or المبني للمجهول, which we talked about last week, then you're a genius. Bismillah. So these 2 submissions we've got so far. أعطاني الطبيب بعض القطرات لألم في الأذن. That's good. Okay. لألم في الأذن or لتخفيف ألم if it's for painkilling. ألم في الأذن or لعلاج whatever it may be. طيب. ولد الطفل بصحة جيدة. ولد الطفل سليم. All right, there's an issue here. There's a problem here. Who can explain that? There is a mistake here. ولد الطفل بصحة جيدة. Okay, let's get more submissions in, and then inshallah ta'ala we'll address those, and that need to be corrected separately. يفحص طبيب الأسنان أسناني في الشاشة. Okay. طيب. Okay, we've got this one. Who else do we have? We have لماذا ذهبت إلى المستشفى لأنني أشعر بألم شديد في الحنجرة. أحسنت. أحسنت. Okay, any other submissions? Okay. يفحص الطبيب حمدا لأنه مريض وهو شعر بألم شديد في قلبه بعد يأكل اللحم، ولذلك وجد الطبيب أن لديه ارتفاع ضغط الدم. طيب. Okay. Great. بارك الله فيك. Okay, so let's comment on a few of these submissions, inshallah. So the first one we have, so we have make your own sentences. We have Bismillah. Start with the first one. يفحص طبيب الأسنان أسناني في الشاشة. Well, it's okay actually. It is kind of correct, but I would use يفحص for that. Whereas يفحص is really like examining. You can't really examine somebody's teeth on the monitor or on the screen. I mean, you can look at it, but examining something that is a bit more physical, if you like. But that's fine, no problem. Those are semantics. ولد الطفل. What's meant by this? ولد الطفل. What's meant by this? ولد الطفل, this مضاف مضاف إليه. ولد means son or child. So the baby's child. So it seems like there's a spelling mistake here. You probably mean which, I don't know. والد الطفل maybe. The child's father maybe, or maybe والدة الطفل, the child's parent, for mother, maybe. But ولد الطفل doesn't make sense. Okay, this مضاف مضاف إليه. If you want to, I don't know, please explain on WooClap. نعم. نعم. Okay, so it's meant to be ولد. أحسنت. All right, so it's meant to be مبني للمجهول. ولد. Okay, my bad. ولد الطفل بصحة جيدة. أحسنت. So the child was born, health in good health. ما شاء الله. Yeah. ولد الطفل. All right. So the فاعل here hasn't been mentioned. Who gave birth to the child, which is the mother, she hasn't been mentioned. Okay. If we did mention the فاعل, what would it be? And this is a very beautiful, nice exercise whereby you take a sentence that's مبني للمجهول and then you turn it into a sentence that's مبني للمعلوم. That's generally speaking a very beautiful, rewarding exercise. Okay. So I'll leave that to you. Who can write that for us? How would this be? And I'll ask that on WooClap 1 second. How would this be if it was مبني للمعلوم? So ولد الطفل, if we actually mention the فاعل, what would it be? And please do add the حركات, the necessary حركات. The فتحة, كسرة, and ضمس. When you're able to do that, when you're able to turn a مبني للمجهول, where the فاعل hasn't been mentioned, into a مبني للمعلوم, that makes sense, then you have understood the point of مبني للمجهول. You've truly understood it, and you're able to understand the sentence. يلا, who can have a go at that? ولد الطفل بصحة جيدة. Imagine you mentioned the فاعل there, what would it be? Okay, someone is brave enough to have a go. So you said ولدت الأم الطفل بصحة صحيحة أو بصحة جيدة. نعم. أحسنت. Well done. Okay. So That's what it would be. So let's contrast the two then to see the difference. We have ولد الطفل بصحة جيدة, and we have ولدت الأم, let's say جيدة instead of صحيحة, just to keep it uniform. Okay. ولدت الأم الطفل بصحة جيدة. So this is how it was meant to be. Okay. This is how it was meant to be. Okay, this is the origin. The origin is ولدت الأم, the mother gave birth to the child in good health. Okay. Even though this is a bit ambiguous, you know that, right? Who was in good health, the mother or the child? It's quite ambiguous. Nevertheless, ولدت الأم الطفل بصحة جيدة. Okay. ولد الطفل بصحة جيدة. What happened here? We got rid of the فاعل. It's the فاعل. Okay. Which has a ضمة. Okay. That's how it's meant to be. ولدت الأم الطفل. Look at the fatha over here as well. Pay attention to the fatha. Okay. So what basically happened? What happened is this fatha over here. That fatha over there became a dhamma over here. You see? الطفل. ولدت الأم الطفل. ولد الطفل. Also, this became ولد instead of ولد. Why? Because that's what happens with مبني المجهول. The makeup of the verb kind of changes. The first letter has a dhamma. First letter gets a dhamma. Okay, so ولد. Now, why do we get rid of the ta over here? Why didn't we say ولدت الطفل? Because this ta over here was to be in agreement with female, feminine. But here, the طفل here is masculine. Okay, so that's why we got rid of the ta, so that the verb agrees with الطفل. Okay, ولد الطفل as opposed to ولدت الطفل. واضح؟ بارك الله فيكم. So yeah, that was a good example. A very good learning opportunity, as they say. Right. Let's go back to the previous sentences. كان مريضا. Okay, we'll come back to these. Let's see if we have another example that we need to address. So let's see. We had that long one, remember? This one. يفحص الطبيب حمدا. حمدا, is that a name? حمد, maybe. حمد, suppose so. حمدا. Okay. يفحص الطبيب حمدا لأنه مريض. Okay. حمد is also a name. حمدا, maybe. So we have يفحص الطبيب حمدا لأنه مريض وهو شعر بألم شديد في قلبه. Okay, so this شعر هو here is redundant. Okay. Even the wow is redundant. Okay. So يفحص الطبيب حمدا لأنه مريض شعر بألم شديد في قلبه. You don't need to say وهو, because شعر already has the فاعل embedded in it. Is مستتر. Okay. شعر بألم شديد في قلبه بعد يأكل اللحم. Okay, who can correct this for us? There's a mistake here. There's a mistake here. Please correct it and also try to explain why it's wrong. بعد يأكل اللحم. What's wrong there? Or maybe he meant حامدا. نعم, instead of حمدا. But wrote without ألف. حامد. Yes, حامد. نعم. Someone said أكل لأنه ماضي. So بعد أكل اللحم. Okay. What else? What else? Who has something else? يأكل فعل مضارع مبني. فعل مضارع. Why is it مبني? ليه؟ فعل مضارع in this occasion is not مبني. فعل مضارع is only مبني on 2 occasions. That's not one of them. يأكل اللحم. Why is it مبني? بعد أكل اللحم. أحسنت. Okay. بعد أكل اللحم. So you can't say بعد يأكل اللحم. All right, now I want you to explain why. Whoever gave us the answer, it's a good thing you got the answer, but explain to us why. Why can't we say بعد يأكل اللحم? Why do we have to say بعد أكل اللحم? Ah, who can explain? Why بعد أكل اللحم not بعد يأكل اللحم? Explanation actually quite pretty straightforward, to be honest. نعم بعد is مضاف. أحسنت. أحسنت. Because بعد is مضاف. بعد over here, this is مضاف. بعد is مضاف. If you have a word that is مضاف, you can't have a verb after it. You used to have a مضاف إليه. واضح؟ المضاف إليه can never be a verb. مضاف إليه always going to be two nouns. Okay? So for that reason, you can't use a verb. You have to use the verbal noun. بعد أكل اللحم, after eating meat. Okay? Not after he ate meat. In English makes sense. After he ate meat, fine. Arabic, لا, it doesn't make sense. Okay? Because مضاف cannot be followed by a verb. Same thing, حرف الجر can't be followed by a verb. Okay? So when you find yourself in some kind of situation whereby you have a preposition such as fi or min or ila, okay, and you want to use a verb, or you have ba'da or qabla, this dharf, which is dharf is basically the locational adverbs to tell you where it happened, then the location can't be a verb. Or the time, this is dharfu zaman here. Ba'da is dharfu zaman, it's telling you when. Basically, it's an answer to the question, when? After he ate meat. Okay? So since it's an answer to when, the time can't be a verb. Verb doesn't, there can't be a specific time. Times are nouns. Okay? Or basically locational or time adverbs have to be nouns. Okay? So you can't say بعد يأكل اللحم. You have to say بعد أكل اللحم. You have to use the verbal noun or the masdar. واضح? I hope that's clear. This was a very good learning opportunity there. Okay? طيب بعد أكل اللحم, so that's wrong. ولذلك وجد الطبيب أن لديه, what happened here? Okay. ولذلك وجد الطبيب أن لديه ارتفاع ضغط الدم. ارتفاع ضغط الدم. طيب أن لديه, this you haven't learned yet, right? But there is a mistake. Okay, it should be أن لديه ارتفاع ضغط الدم or ارتفاعا في ضغط الدم. That's what I would have said. It's not necessarily a mistake because you didn't add حركات, but I would have said أن لديه ارتفاعا في ضغط الدم. But it's okay, both fine, no problem. أحسنتم. طيب, let's go and see if we can find another learning opportunity. Let's go back to WooClap. Let's go back to the make your own sentences. يوسف يصاب بألم شديد في الأسنان. No, here I would use the noun مصاب, not يصاب. Okay, or you could say أصيب. Now, how do I explain that? يصاب, or being afflicted, when you use a فعل مضارع like this, it sounds like this happens all the time. So فعل مضارع, generally speaking, either talks about something that's happening right now, or it's talking about something that generally happens. Okay, Yusuf being afflicted with pain, yes, dental pain, is not something that is not a general statement, number one. Neither would it be something that is mustamir or continuing, such that you can make. Now, the pain can be continuing. Please differentiate. All right? The pain can be continuing, but being afflicted by it is something that happens and khalas, and then the consequences take place. Right? Okay? So being afflicted by something is not something normally, or the affliction itself, the verb itself, is not something that, is mustamir. It's something you've been afflicted by it, and now you are suffering from whatever you're suffering from. So it doesn't sound right. But this is I'm really nitpicking here, if you like, being very precise. That wouldn't be a grammatical mistake. It's just one of those mistakes that, as someone native speaker or someone that knows Arabic, it doesn't sound right. But you can't really say, hey, you made a mistake. So, okay, that's fine. Yusuf yusab bi alamin shadidin fil asnan. Okay, fine. But I would have said Yusufu musabun bi alamin shadidin fil asnan, or I would have said something like Yusufu usiba bi alamin shadidin fil asnan, because yusabu gives the impression that it's a general statement. Okay, like just like saying, for example, Yusufu yadrusu fil jami'ah. Yusuf studies at the university. Okay, that's like a general statement. Yani, that's how it sounds like the yusabu. كان مريضا في المستشفى. موعدته مع طبيب الأسنان لأنه شعر بألم شديد. Ooh. Okay, let me ask you a question. Where's the ism kana, what they call, or basically the subject? Let me ask you a question. When you say kana, who are you talking about? Kana maridan fil mustashfa. Who are you talking about? Huh? Who was sick in the mustashfa? You can't just say kana maridan. You can say that if it's something that follows on from a previous sentence, or as part of a conversation, as an answer to somebody's question. Someone says to you, for example, Aina Muhammad, Aina Khalid, say to you, Kana maridan fil mustashfa. Okay, that's fine. But just like this, Kana maridan fil mustashfa, question is who? Who was sick at hospital? Okay, that's one thing. Secondly, Kana maridan fil mustashfa, that translates to he was sick in the hospital. And basically he wasn't sick before he got to hospital. He was sick in the hospital. Okay? I think you want to say he was sick and at hospital. So then you would say something like كان مريضا ودخل المستشفى. Not في المستشفى. كان مريضا في المستشفى means he was sick in hospital. واضح? That's where he was sick. That's where the sickness happened, in hospital. Okay? But that's not what you're trying to say. You're trying to say he was sick. I was about to say marid. He was sick and went to hospital, or was admitted to hospital. So that would be a bit wrong as well. موعدته مع طبيب الأسنان. أسنان, the hamza should be on top here. لأنه شعر بألم شديد. Well, it's موعد, it's not موعدة. So that ta is wrong. Okay? That's one thing. موعده مع طبيب الأسنان. So you're saying that his appointment was with the dentist. موعده مع طبيب الأسنان. His appointment was with the dentist. That is different from saying he had an appointment with the dentist. Okay? Then you would have said something like كان له موعدا مع طبيب الأسنان, as opposed to his appointment was with the dentist. You would say his appointment was with the dentist if somebody asked you who was his appointment with. Okay? If somebody asks you about the appointment, then you would answer with this kind of statement. موعده مع طبيب الأسنان. But like this, in this context, where you want to affirm that he had an appointment with the dentist, you wouldn't say موعده مع طبيب الأسنان. You would say كان له موعدا مع طبيب الأسنان. He had an appointment with the dentist. Why? لأنه شعر بألم شديد. نعم. أحسنت. طيب, let's see if there's other learning opportunities. على له موعد, or علي, I think it's meant to be. Should have two dots. It has it, sorry. It's there. علي له موعد. عند طبيب الأسنان الساعة 7:00 صباحا في الصباح تنصح أمه ليشرب الماء بالعسل. All right. Few issues here. Number one, I think we'll suffice with this one. We'll go to the speaking other exercise after this. But يعني علي له موعد عند طبيب الأسنان الساعة 7:00 صباحا. Up to here is perfect. But then you say في الصباح. Why? That's so redundant. You already said that his appointment was 7:00 in the morning. In the morning? Why did you repeat في الصباح? Okay. If you mean that this is actually part of the next sentence, okay, في الصباح تنصح أمه, if that's what you mean, then why do you have فعل مضارع here? It should be فعل ماضي. You basically are trying to say that his mother advised him to have water with honey. Okay, so this should be فعل ماضي, and that would come before في الصباح. Okay, or you can say في الصباح as well, but it's just that في الصباح coming straight after صباح and doesn't sound right. But nevertheless, في الصباح you would say نصحت. نصحت. Okay, now when you say نصحت, نصح is a verb that has an object. Where is the مفعول به? That's my question, and this question is to everyone. Okay, in this sentence, where is the مفعول به or the object for نصح? Okay, so when you give advice to someone. So where is the مفعول به? That's a question for everyone. What is the مفعول به? When you say نصحت أمه ليشرب الماء بالعسل. I mean, I shouldn't even pronounce it for you because I'm giving things away, but nevertheless. إيش رأيكم؟ في الصباح نصحت ليشرب with the تقدير. Someone said الماء. Okay, the person who says that the advice, the object for she advised is ماء, did she advise the water? يعني his mother advised the water? لا. لا. So well, I'm not saying what did she advise with. That would be بالماء. I agree if you use a ba. So differentiate between advising with and advising, i.e. someone. So like I told you many times, my dear brothers and sisters, verbs can have an object. Either they can have a direct object, which we call مفعول به, or they can have an indirect object by way of حرف jar, by using one of these prepositions, and it would have a different name. It would have a different meaning. Okay, so to advise someone with something is different from to advise someone. Do you agree? If I say I advise you with this book, it's different from I advise you. Okay, to fear Allah. So to advise someone with something is to recommend something to him. Whereas to advise someone is to tell him to do or not to do something. So there are two different verbs, two different meanings. So nasaha Muhammadun Khalidan, Muhammad advised Khalid, is different from nasaha Muhammadun بتلاوة القرآن. Muhammad advised with reading the Quran. Two different things. Okay, someone said his mother. How does that make sense? She advised herself? Okay. She advised his mother? How? Who's that she then? Maybe that's not the mother. Maybe you included someone else into the sentence. Maybe we have his sister is maybe the one that gave the advice, and she gave the advice to his mother. But who is that nasahat then? Who is that third person female that we don't know who she is? That would be fine. I agree with you. نصحت أمه, maybe you mean Zainab. نصحت أمه, advised his mother, okay, that he should drink water with asal. Okay, that would be fine. But it will only be fine if we know who that third person is. Who's that third person female here that hasn't been mentioned in the whole? So this, when you look at this without having any mention of a third person female within the context, it gives the clear impression that the mother is the one who gave advice. Which in this case, which in that case, it would be ummuhu with a dhamma, and she would be the fa'il. نصحت ummuhu. واضح? All right, someone said hidden maf'ul. You can't have hidden maf'ul. Maf'ul is a pillar from the pillars of the sentence. It can't be hidden. Okay, unless, like I said, is something that is understood from the context clearly, whatever, or no, I don't think you can't. No, you can't. The fa'il and the maf'ul, you can't hide them. Unless they are embedded within the verb itself, like the fa'il, that's a different story. But you can't have a taqdeer here. No, I disagree with that. To drink, no, she didn't. Again, I repeat, to advise with something is different to advise someone. In this context, she advised someone. The mother advised someone. Who did she advise? There has to be a maf'ulun bihi, because nasaha is fi'l muta'addi. It's a verb that has to have a direct object. Ustad advised someone. Ustad advised to drink water. Okay, there's something missing there. Now, if I ask you to think about it, who fi ummihi? No. The who in ummihi is mudaf ilayh. His mother is mudaf ilayh. That's not, you can't be mudaf ilayh and maf'ul bi at the same time. Mudaf ilayh is majroor. That's mudaf ilayh. Basically, his mother. This is possessive. It's not an object. It's not an object pronoun. It's a possessive pronoun. His mother, not him mother. His mother. Ibnaha. Okay. In other words, if I asked you, common sense, who did the mother advise? You would know the answers, huh? Who did the mother advise? She advised Ali, yes. نصحت تقديره هو. No. نصحت can't be تقديره هو because they got ta at the end, which shows you it's a here. نصحت, the fa'il there is hidden. It would have been hidden if it wasn't mentioned explicitly, and it has been mentioned explicitly, ummuhu. So we don't need to say taqdiru. There's no taqdir here. Nasahat ummuhu, the mother advised. Who did she advise? She advised Ali. So there's something missing here. What's missing here? So we need, let me send you in the right direction. There's a pronoun missing here. There's a pronoun missing here. And that pronoun needs to return back to Ali. Nasahathu, ahsant. Finally got there. No, not ibnaha, no. Nasahathu ummuhu. واضح? His mother advised him to drink water with honey. واضح? A very useful, deep, beneficial learning opportunity here. If I tried to sit down and come up with something like this, I wouldn't be able to in order to get this point across. So Jazakallah khair for the person who answered with this question. And yeah, that was challenging, wasn't it? So we have علي, let's go back. علي له موعد عند طبيب الأسنان الساعة 7 صباحا. في الصباح نصحته أمه ليشرب الماء بالعسل. Okay. نصحته أمه ليشرب الماء بالعسل. Okay. There's an extra alif here. نصحته أمه ليشرب الماء بالعسل. Okay, it's okay. طيب. That was intense, wasn't it? إيش رأيكم? Now, we can mention that even if it's not in the sentence. What do you mean? نصحته? It's wrong. That's what I'm telling you. Whoever wrote this should have wrote the ha there, because this sentence is missing a maf'ulun bihi. Writing it like this, writing it like this, في الصباح نصحت أمه ليشرب الماء بالعسل is incomplete. مفعول به is missing there. There's no مفعول به. So he or she has to mention the who over here. Okay? Or you can mention the name itself without the pronoun. You can say في الصباح نصحت عليا أمه. You can say that as well. Okay? Or نصحت أم علي عليا. You can say that as well if you like. Okay? But you can't say أمه عليا. If you know why, you know why. If not, ignore it. طيب. طيب. ممتاز. Let's see if there's something else. I think, mashallah, those are good opportunities. Make your own sentence. No مفعول بالعسل. زرت صديقة في المستشفى ونصحني بعدنا لبقاء طويلا. ونصحني. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know, that doesn't make sense. يقيس ضغط المريض لأنه شعر بألم. Again, same thing. What do you mean يقيس ضغط المريض? Do you mean يقاس? You say يقاس, not يقيس. Or يقيس الطبيب. Who is measuring the ضغط, the pressure? The طبيب. If you don't want to mention the طبيب, then you have to use مبني للمجهول. You say يقاس ضغط المريض لأنه شعر بألم. طيب, ممتاز. All right, we'll suffice with that. Let's go on to this one. I really want you to get, the speaking prompts are pretty straightforward. You'll do that, inshallah, in the workshop with the teacher, whereby you're going to either describe your most recent visit to a doctor. You can talk about that. You can say زرت الطبيب قبل أسبوعين You can ask about the doctor's advice and the reason behind it. And the person who's talking about his recent visit to the doctor, his speaking mate, can ask him or her about what the doctor advised with. Asking about the result of a medical visit or assessment. Okay, ماذا كانت النتيجة, like we've done in the dialogue. Describe the feeling of pain associated with a specific disease. So, for example, صداع, you can say عندي ألم شديد في الرأس. Okay, عندي صداع وهو ألم شديد في الرأس. You can say, for example. So try and associate those two things together. The pain associated with a specific disease. So different diseases have got different sort of pains. So or different sort of localities. Try and use that as an opportunity to practice your speaking skills. Give someone advice regarding their health. You can tell them, for example, to eat healthy, what to eat, to lose weight, whatever. According to what you've done in the dialogues. Point at and describe a body part. You might say something like هذا أذني. For example, you can say هذا, whatever. Point to the body part, describe it. Maybe if you're advanced, talk about what you use it for. Okay, like Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, ألهم أرجل يمشون بها أم لهم أيد يبطشون بها أم لهم أعين يبصرون بها أم لهم آذان يسمعون بها قل ادعوا شركاءكم ثم كيدوني فلا تنظرون. Allah says, talking about the false deities that the kuffar Quraysh used to worship. Allah says, ألهم أرجل يمشون بها. Do they have legs with which they walk? أم لهم أيد يبطشون بها. Or do they have hands with which they can grab things? أم لهم أعين يبصرون بها. Or do they have eyes with which they can see? أم لهم آذان يسمعون بها. Or do they have ears with which they can hear? قل ادعوا شركاءكم. Call your false deities. ثم كيدوني. Then plot against me. Muhammad, tell Quraysh, call these false deities you're trying to make me, you're threatening me with. Call them. ثم كيدوني. And plot against me. فلا تنظرون. Don't wait. Go ahead, do it right away. These false deities that can't see, they can't hear, they don't have any sort of power. إن ولي الله الذي نزل الكتاب. Verily my protector is Allah, the one who has revealed the book. وهو يتولى الصالحين. And Allah protects and turns towards the righteous. Beautiful verses in the end of Surah Al-A'raf. return back to it, inshallah ta'ala. Point I'm trying to make is that every body part in your body has a specific function. So just like this verse has pointed it out, try to do something similar, inshallah. You can talk about any health issues that you have, okay? Or it doesn't have to necessarily be health issues you really have. It's just for the sake of having these conversations. I mean, this applies to any sort of conversation you're having in a workshop. It doesn't have to be factual, right? For the sake of just learning, you can take on a different role. So don't feel like you're lying, because everybody knows that you are, if you like, practicing. Okay. That's an important thing, by the way. A lot of people, they don't know this. Yes. That lying is not that necessarily you say something that is not true, right? Lying is when you say something that's not true in order to deceive someone else when the other person doesn't know. Do you understand? So, for example, being sarcastic, right? It's not lying. Why is it not lying? Because the person knows that you're not serious. Okay? So, sarcasm, yes, when you're being sarcastic, you can't say to someone who makes a sarcastic statement, astaghfirullah, you lied. La, because it's clear. You know, if you say to your son, for example, who's misbehaved, mashallah, good boy, very good, mashallah. You say, nobody's going to say to you, anta kadhab. You know, why is it not a lie? Because he knows what you mean. You know, you're not deceiving anyone. You're not mentioning something that's not factual or that's opposite to reality in order to deceive the individual. So the same thing applies here. Within the workshop, you're not saying like, I've got this health issue or my name is this, it's me Khalid. You're not saying that to deceive the person you're talking to. He knows that we are, you know, practicing, we're learning. So it's not considered to be a lie. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Make dua for someone for having good health, as we've learned, and ask about someone else's health as well. So these are the speaking prompts, inshallah, you will attempt in class. Now let's have a go at this, inshallah. So here we have sample sentences you're going to make, and it's pretty open. And it's always good to keep it as open as possible, right? There are 3 terms here, and you can always add more. And I've given you some examples here. You have تتناول فاطمة الدواء. So you have a verb that you can have either a picture of a man or a woman here. You just make up a name for them, right? Or mention their occupation or the relationship to you. Doesn't always have to be a name or a noun. You could say something like تتناول أمي. Okay, you could say تتناول, for example, whatever, المديرة. All right, just as long as you use a feminine noun. الدواء, then you can use a مفعول به, or you can use a جار مجرور, i.e. you can use a prepositional phrase. Okay, jar majrur, as in a preposition and the prepositional object. That's what they call jar majrur. For example, تغيب خالد عن المدرسة. This jar majrur. حرف الجر اسم مجرور. Okay, تغيب خالد عن المدرسة. So you can choose to use مفعول به or jar majrur, or you can even choose to use what? مضاف مضاف إليه. It's up to you. For example, ارتفع, this should have been ارتفعت درجة حرارة محمد. So ارتفعت درجة حرارة, that would be the فاعل, درجة حرارة مضاف إليه, and then محمد, another مضاف إليه. Okay, or you can be really creative and use a مفعول به and جار مجرور. نصح الطبيب محمدا بالراحة. نصح الطبيب محمدا بالراحة, and so on and so forth. Okay, so those are 4 sample sentences. Yeah, let's give it a try. Let me go to, let me post it here. So this is called, actually give it the, let's call it what happened. All right, that's what it's called. All right, what happened? There we go. And then we are going to sort of spun the wheel. Let's just make it split view again. Okay, so there we go. Okay. يقابل someone مفعول به جار مجرور. Okay. Again, try and make your sentence as rich as possible. If you want, you can also add ظرف. Tell us where this verb took place. Or you can also use ظرف مكان, or you can use ظرف زمان. Tell us when it took place. Okay. If you want, you can make the sentence richer by telling us why it took place. واضح? All these things you can use to make your sentence become richer and richer, inshallah. Okay. This is the bare minimum. Verb and the subject, the fa'il, and مفعول به, specifically if it's a verb that is متعدي. Okay. Or jar majroor, you know, to give more meaning. That's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. But feel free to make it feel free to make the sentence longer, inshallah ta'ala. أحمد يتوب إلى الله لأن الله قابل للتوبة. So you have to put lam there. Not قابل التوبة. قابل للتوبة. للتوبة. Okay. ممتاز. أحسنت. Beautiful sentence. يقابل حمزة أباه. أباه. Don't ask me why. We'll do that another time. يقابل حمزة أباه بعد الصلاة لغداء. للغداء, not لغداء. للغداء. Okay, you have to add alif lam. Okay. And this is a mistake that always English speakers they make. Yes, which is not using the alif lam. Because you are thinking, I'm telling you exactly why you said لغداء. You are thinking Hamza met his father after Salah for dinner. صح? So you're thinking to yourself, for dinner, he didn't say for the dinner. So I shouldn't add alif lam. This is a misunderstanding. Alif lam doesn't always mean the. Students, specifically English speakers, always make this mistake. Okay? Look, if anything, the alif lam is more frequently used than tanween. Okay? You're more likely to have an alif lam than not to have it. And that's why you'll find Arab speakers, when they speak, they always add the to everything. So just the way that you said يقابل حمزة أباه بعد الصلاة لغداء, which is a literal translation of Hamza will meet his father after Salah for dinner. An Arab speaker would say Hamza will meet his father after Salah for the dinner. واضح? You tell me how that sounds to you as an English speaker. Hamza will meet his father after Salah for the dinner. Okay, how does that sound to you? Sounds a bit off, right? What do you mean for the dinner? You mean for dinner. Why do you add the to it? Well, he added the because also the Arab thinks that al always means the. So you have that in common with the native Arab speaker. صح? Thinking that al always means the. No, al doesn't always mean the. Okay? As a matter of fact, not using the al and using tanween is more often or an than al is the. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is يقابل حمزة أباه بعد الصلاة لغداء. This would be understood as Hamza will meet his father after Salah for a dinner. واضح? For a dinner. Okay, so you're thinking to yourself, it's not for the dinner. So let me get rid of the. But what you don't realize is that when you get rid of the, you end up with a tanween, which means the indefinite article. واضح? And like I said to you, the indefinite article is more purposeful, if you like, in the Arabic language, used on purpose than the alif lam. So let's say the alif lam is rather the default, but you would get rid of it and use a tanween for a specific reason. That's generally speaking. واضح? Does that make sense? Okay, so you don't end up making the same mistake. Okay, واضح? So just use the alif lam. My advice to you is just use the alif lam, and unless you find there's a reason that there should be no alif lam, because of either it could be mudaf. Mudaf doesn't have alif lam ever. Remember, mudaf never has alif lam because mudaf is already definite by default. Or maybe because you actually want to give the meaning of the indefinite article. You literally want it to be indefinite. You want it to be nakira. Okay? واضح? Please tell me if that went over your head. أنا قابلت الشيخ في إنجلترا. أحسنت. قابل الطبيب علي. مشكلة. Who met who? Please tell me. In this sentence, who met who? Did the doctor meet Ali? Or the Ali met the doctor? Let me know that. That's a good question here. That's a very good question. I'm going to pose that question in a moment. Let's pose it now. Who met who? Sorry, that's not even a question, is it? Actually, it's all right. You just tell me. Yeah, you just answer it here. I'll ask an open-ended question. Who met who? Let me write it actually here. Who? When it's in English, obviously, you're going to put the subject first. That's the person who met, and then the object second. Who met who? So basically, did Ali meet the doctor or the doctor met Ali? Both met each other, ya Sheikh. No. No, well, I mean, we're not talking here semantically. Okay, they met each other. What I mean is, grammatically speaking, قابل, this verb, which of these two nouns is the subject? Which one is the object? So is it Ali met the doctor, or is it the doctor met Ali? So in English, obviously, the subject always comes first, and then the object comes after the verb. So did Ali meet the doctor, or the doctor met Ali? Okay, semantically it means the same thing. Ustad, what's the big deal? It means, I know. But here we're talking about grammatically speaking. Okay, if it doesn't make a difference with the verb qabala, because qabala is one of those verbs that are I don't know how to pronounce that word, reciprocal, whatever. You know, that thing that happens from both sides. Okay, qabala. It happens from both sides. They meet each other. I agree. So semantically it doesn't make a difference. But grammatically, imagine qabala was daraba. Or imagine qabala was zara, visited. And you said Zara al-Tabib Ali. Who visited who? Did Ali visit the doctor in hospital? Well, the doctor visited Ali in hospital. Do you get me? Right. The doctor met Ali. So the doctor is fa'il, Ali is maf'ulun bihi. If doctor met Ali, okay, I think someone's here giving the answer. Let me not read it yet. We'll get to the explanation. The doctor met Ali, no ID, which is the maf'ul bihi. Okay. Well, grammatically we can tell. There's only one possibility here. Okay. Obviously, the person, I don't think that's what he meant. I think the person meant Ali met the doctor, but they made a mistake here. A very common mistake that a lot of you make, which actually ended up giving the opposite meaning. The doctor met Ali. Okay. The doctor met Ali. All right. You know what? Before I even go into that, let me just give you, let's do a poll. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to know the numbers. Okay. So let's say the doctor met Ali. Ali met the doctor. I don't even know why I had doctor with a capital, but let's keep it that way. Yeah, let's do a poll. Who met who? قابل الطبيب علي. That's how it's written. Okay, it's quite clear that the vast majority of you believe that the doctor met Ali. Okay? And that one lone wolf, Miskeen, who said Ali met the doctor, I think you're the same person who actually wrote the explanation here. So let's read what that person said. Let's give that person a chance to explain himself. So they said, if Ali met the doctor, then doctor would have fatha. Okay, so how do you know doctor doesn't have fatha? You don't know. I'm not pronouncing it for you. You have nothing here. The Talib's got no fatha, no nothing. You can't tell. All right, so that's not the right answer. Okay. And obviously this person goes for the opinion that the doctor met Ali. Let's find the person who said Ali met the doctor. Na'am, ahsant. So I assume it's this person who said it's not Aliyan, so probably Ali met the doctor. Not probably, definitely. According to what's in front of us, definitely Ali is the one who met the doctor and not the other way around. Which means the vast majority of you are wrong. Okay, which shows you the beauty of Arabic grammar and learning Arabic grammar. So let me show you why. Imagine this was a verse from the Quran. That would be a disaster, wouldn't be? Anyway, let me explain to you why Ali met the doctor and not vice versa. Because if the doctor was fa'il and Ali was maf'ulun bihi, then Ali would have an alif. It would be aliyan. واضح? But because the alif is not there, because tanween, two fathas, would have an alif. I mean, the fact that the person didn't add harakat, it makes it a bit difficult, I agree. Okay? But I've told you many times before, that alif is there for a reason, my dear brothers and sisters. You have to ask yourselves, why did the Arabs choose to put an alif after the two fathas, whenever there's two fathas, and not for the dhamma or the kasra? Because of exactly this. Because of the big possibility of mixing up between fa'al and maf'ulun bihi. Do you understand? That's why they add an alif to anything that is meant to have a fatha, two fathas. Okay? So قابل الطبيب عليا. Then we could have said the doctor met Ali. But because Ali doesn't have an alif, it only leaves us with one possibility, which is قابل الطبيب علي. So since aliyun has to have two dhammas and you can't have two fathas because there's no alif, then this one has to be the maf'ulun bihi. Now, I'm sure that most of you said tabib is the fa'il, tabib mat Ali, is because you are programmed in English that the subject comes before the object. You looked at this and you said Dr. mat Ali, doctor is mentioned first. When I've told you many times before, this doesn't apply to Arabic. Arabic, قابل الطبيب علي, قابل الطبيب عليا. Grammatically speaking, they're both 100% fine and correct. Just someone might say one as opposed to the other for other rhetorical or linguistic benefits. Okay, so someone would say, for example, قابل الطبيب علي. Yes, if the question was who met the doctor. واضح? Okay, so it might be that somebody met the doctor outside the mustashfa and caused the problem. Okay. Okay, so you want to know? No, that's the opposite. قابل الطبيب علي. You want to know? Yes, your question is who met the doctor, right? Then you would say قابل علي الطبيب. We mentioned Ali first because it's about the person who met the doctor. That's what you want to know. So you would say قابل علي الطبيب. Okay. If, however, the focus emphasis meant to be on the doctor himself, okay, whereby you know that Ali met someone but you don't know who he met, then you would say قابل الطبيب علي. Okay, واضح? These sort of reasons, sometimes Arabs, they change the order, okay, for these kind of intricate reasons. But nevertheless, that was a major banana peel, okay, which has its benefits. It shows you the importance of Arabic, importance of grammar. That was a very useful learning opportunity that we got there. Alhamdulillah. And I want all of you to keep on remembering, please, the alif that we add after the two fathas, it is absolutely crucial. It's not something that is, if you like, something that is cosmetic or just for looks. All right. So whoever answered Ali or the doctor, Ali meant the doctor. Ahsant. You've done very well. You've done very good. طيب, let's go back to what happened. See if there's another. I think this is the last one actually. يقابل الرجل الطبيب. I can't really tell here, but here I have to say يقابل الرجل الطبيب ونصحه بتناول الفواكه. Here I have to say رجل الطبيب. Why? Because when it is ambiguous, then we go by the default, which is the فاعل comes first and then the مفعول به. So because I can't tell, I just have to say يقابل الرجل الطبيب. Okay? يقابل نسيم صديقه في المستشفى. نعم. And so on and so forth. Anyway, أحسنتم. We still have Quizlet to do. I promised you last time. So let's do a few rounds of quizzes. 5 rounds I promised you, I remember. And then we'll break up for the workshop, inshallah ta'ala. I mean, more of this exercise, inshallah, in the workshop. But the difference being that in the workshop, it's live. You have no time to think. Teacher's going to spin the wheel, and you're going to have to reply straight away. Okay? That's where the benefit lies. If you want to speak fluently, then you have to be put in situations where you are forced to speak fluently. Okay? The more often you do that, the more likely you will start to speak fluently, inshallah. So that's more for the workshop right now. Join us on Quizlet, inshallah. Where is the link? Mine's not working. Okay. Try the code then if the link doesn't work. We have 9 people. In total, we are 10. And that's, no, not including Ustad. So there's one person missing, huh? It's 11, so there's one person missing. We'll give it, okay, alhamdulillah, all right. Full house. Right. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Zebras. It's a tight one today, mashallah. It's a very tight one. Zebras is doing good. Zebras are doing really good. So are bears. T-Rex. The Taiwan zebras are still ahead. Zebras are still in the lead. I think the lead is solidified now. Zebras have it in the bag. Ahsant. Sabrina again has won. Let's see if somebody can stop her today. Bismillah. Everyone ready? I'm going to have another round. 3, 2, 1, go. T-Rex is out of it. Penguins a good start. Zebras had a slow start. Bears are ahead. Lynx jumping out of nowhere. Bears are out. Made a mistake, unfortunately. Lynx, zebras are back in the lead. Almost again. Oh no, they're back in the lead. Okay, koalas are giving zebras a run for their money. But at this moment in time, lynx are out as well. Only koalas really competing with zebras. Zebra's back in the lead. One more question is in the bag. There we go. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Another round. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Okay. Come on, everyone. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Put up a fight. Bismillah. Okay, links. T-Rexes are doing good. So don't make a mistake. Zebras always have a slow start, picking up the pace. T-Rex, bears, links are out. Oh no, Zebra's back in the lead again. Yeah. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. T-Rex are putting up a fight. Bears are doing really good. T-Rex are ahead, mashallah. This is really tight, mashallah. T-Rex and Zebras. Bears are still in the game. Oh, Zebras took the lead again. Zebras back in. Oh, this is neck on neck. Oh, that was close. That was close. We're getting closer. I did promise 5 rounds. Naam, Zebras have won this round. Let's see. This has never happened before. Let's see if she can take all 5 rounds. Okay. So 3, 2, 1, go. Things are ahead. T-Rex close by. T-Rex made a mistake. Out. Links. Zebras are ahead again. Zebras are in the lead. Bears and Lynx are trying to catch up. They're already playing catch up. Zebras ahead again. All right. She doesn't make a mistake. It's in the bag. 4th round. Bears are trying hard. But unfortunately, I would say in vain. Oh, no. Oh, that was close. Oh. Okay. Let's see who's going to make a world record today. Last round. Okay. Bismillah. Everyone ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see if we can have another one today on the leaderboard or not. Is it going to be 5 out of 5? Slow start, like always. Giving people hope. Catching up. MashaAllah. Lynx, T-Rex. Still putting up a good fight. Zebra is not yet ahead. T-Rex is fighting back hard. T-Rex are ahead. Zebra took the lead again. Zebras took the lead again. T-Rex, Zebras took the lead again. Okay, Bears made a mistake. Zebras are still in the lead. T-Rex is trying hard, but 5 out of 5. This is Sabrine's week, everyone. Allahumma barik. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in her studies and everyone else. If anything, now you know that you need to revise a bit harder, inshallah ta'ala. The competition is strong. And that was amazing. Allahumma barik. Bye. Okay, so we are done with the lecture. Now, before I do go, I have spent a lot of time today basically explaining things and the like. I don't know. What's your feedback for today's lesson? Because I want to know if this was useful today, what we've done or not. All those learning opportunities that we've explained, mistakes that we did not anticipate. How did you find today's lesson? Do you think that was a good format, trying to internalize and implement what we've learned on Saturday, or not? Okay, because that's what we spent at least an hour on today. 1 whole hour we spent on writing on WooClap and critiquing your work. So let me know what you thought of today's approach. Questions on WooClap, obviously. All right, so someone said in the Zoom chat, yes, very good way of teaching. Okay. Give me as much detailed feedback as possible. I was good about it. Did it take too long? Did you get bored? Were some of the mistakes that were corrected too advanced? Were they too easy? How about learning opportunities? Is it up actually, the WooClap? Is it working? And what will we do after finishing this cohort? We'll start the next cohort. We're going to do, inshallah, book 3. Mustawa. We're going to do the green book, basically. So we're going to finish the orange ones. We'll start from unit 1, from book 3, inshallah ta'ala. This method is better for understanding. Is Book Club working, by the way? Because nobody's answering there. Just asking. What a friend. Huh? Yes, we're going to do book 2, inshallah. Okay. So what's your feedback then? It's working. When approximately? So yeah, so the next cohort will start, inshallah ta'ala, sometime begin December. So at when we start study period 3, so basically we have next week left. The last unit is next week. After that, we're going to have a week of revision and exams, a week of revision, and then a week of exams, and then maybe a week holiday. Okay, and then we're going to start, inshallah ta'ala, the next one. I benefited from this a lot. I like the learning opportunities. However, I feel at times on the Saturday classes, some of the principles are rushed. So this helps solidify them. Nah. Okay. Jazakallah khair. So maybe we will try and add some of this into the Saturday class as well, so that we don't wait for it for Tuesday. So add some of it to the Saturday's class just to make sure everybody understood. But then we will focus more on this on Tuesday, inshallah. And this was really helpful. If you got more tasks to apply specific grammar concepts, it would be more beneficial. I found last class really helpful and had many new things I did not know, gave me more motivation. Alhamdulillah. In terms of grammar tasks, I've posted the one for Unit 14, the quizzes one. And I would have done it now, a quick competition. It wasn't for the fact that we ran out of time. And inshallah, expect a quizzes one for this unit as well. Also, the quarterly test, make sure all of you have a go at it, inshallah. Barakallah fikum. Quizzes is not working. I mean, it worked for some of you. I received some of the work. Please message me privately and I'll look into it. Very interesting, mashallah. The mistakes greatly benefits us. We think we know, but nah, there's so much to learn. Nah, so, and you'll find that most of the time the mistakes you make are not new things. We didn't cover a lot of new principles. It's just that learning really lies in implementation. So when you implement it, that's when you actually see the gaps in your understanding and your knowledge. Quizlet much enjoyed, alhamdulillah. But what I learned was miss one lesson and you're done. Yes. However, alhamdulillah for the lessons being recorded. So there is some hope. You can always watch the recording, inshallah, which is not the same as being, I mean, definitely someone who's going to watch this on YouTube, or who's going to watch this after they missed the class, and he's going to try and take part. It's still good. They can still engage and try and write the answer by hand and then get the feedback and learn from the students' mistakes. But I don't think it's the same as when you're live doing it, you know? I don't think it's the same. Barakallah feekum. Okay, jazakumullah khair everyone for the feedback. Much appreciated. We will stop with that. And alhamdulillah, it was very beneficial. Alhamdulillah. Okay, that's good to hear. Khalas, we'll see you in the workshop, inshallah.